Hi and welcome to the Homeopathy Health Show. I'm Atiq Ahmed Bhatti, a fourth generation homeopath with over 25 years of professional experience and practice in this field of healing. The Homeopathy Health Show is the online voice of homeopathy around the world, promoting and raising awareness of this truly unique system of healing, which is suitable for all ages, young and old. Every week I invite guests from the world of homeopathy to come and share their experiences, their work, offer insights, and essentially talk all things homeopathy. Why not visit www.liketreatslike.co.uk and click on the radio and podcast button to listen to the latest episodes. So let's begin today's show here on UK Health Radio, the world's #1 talk health radio. Hi and welcome to another episode of the Homeopathy Health Podcast here on the UK Health Radio Network. And as always, I hope you've had a pleasant week. Mine has been jam-packed, as always, but it's been a very inspiring week, I must say. And so many homeopaths to talk to, so many things to do, so many patients to help, but it's the best place, and I couldn't ask for more, actually. Now, I am delighted to welcome Dr. Shekhar Algundgi back to the Homeopathy Health Podcast. Now, I say back because the doctor has actually been on my Instagram live series previously, which I'm sure you will have seen, and that's called Homeopathic Voices from Around the World. And it's actually a companion to this, the podcast on UK Health Radio. You'll find the Homeopathic Voices channel itself on my official Instagram. So please go to @like_treatslike and you'll see it there. So it's really nice to welcome Dr. Shekhar back. He is a well-known figure in the world of homeopathy, and he is not only a homeopath, but he is a teacher and also an author. And there are a great many things that I'm going to ask him today to share his insights and experiences for one. So, Dr. Shekhar Algundgi, thank you so very much for joining me on the Homeopathy Health Podcast. It's an absolute honor and an absolute delight.
Thank you.
Now, first, very sadly, you did relay to me that your mother passed in February of 24. So please, on behalf of UK Health Radio and myself, of course, please accept our condolences and our best wishes. And I'd just like to pay respects to your dear late mother as well.
Thank you.
Maybe you can share some fond memory. I think that would be very apt at this moment in time, perhaps about your dear respected mother.
Not only as a mother, but as a person, she was very accommodative to every person, right from child to an adult, and never had any sort of personal interest as such in order to communicate with anybody. She would be so free and so naive sort of a personality. And her major interest was in cooking. She would love serving people, the different type of chutneys, the pickles and all, the May season, this thing. She used to make all the different type of papads and all that thing, the different recipes which needs to be dried and stored. So all those days I can remember during my childhood when she would tell, okay, keep this in the sun and, wait over there so that the crow will not come and the pigeon will not come and pick it away. Not only that, but the idea was how much she was so much self-sacrificing for the family, that I remember even during my 10th standard exam, my brother's 10th standard exam, even though there were family weddings, she wouldn't go. She said, no, my first priority is that I need to see to it that whatever are the needs and requirements for my children, that is my duty first, then rather than going for any wedding or anything. So you would tell my father, you attend on our behalf. That's sort of a sacrifice that she had, So this is basically, in short, the nature that she, happy-go-lucky, very jovial, very playful sort of a personality, like a childlike personality she had. And that's why even during the funeral, there were a lot of people who had come to attend the funeral, because some way or the other, from a rickshaw driver, from an auto driver, to all the other even executive class people whomsoever she has met, made it a point to attend the funeral on that day. So that it clearly shows that how she was accommodative to each one and everybody, maybe barring any age group, barring any category, social category, as far as people are concerned.
From what you've just said, what I understand is that she was herself, and that's such a beautiful gift to have, because we can all pretend to be something we're not, but when somebody is themselves, there's a natural resonance, isn't there? I mean, we're talking homeopathy, so that vibration, it matches, doesn't it? And you resonate, and it's such a wonderful gift. Not everybody has it, to be perfectly honest with you.
True, very true.
And also the fact that mothers sacrifice so much, don't they? They really do. They go that extra mile, and it's when you think back, and you think back on parents, and especially when it comes to the mothers, because there's a special bond, like we were talking off air just before the recording. There's a unique bond between a child and the mother,
and that is irreplaceable.
Absolutely, it is, yes. But it's also the fact that the mother gives so much, isn't it? The first 9 months to bear you, and then the pain of delivery. It's not easy. And then to rear the child, to bring them up with manners, with morals, with ethics, it's a lifetime.
And to bear all the mischief that we are doing during our childhood.
Yeah, I was very naughty, I have to say, But I calmed down with some chamomilla, so I'm okay now. But it's so wonderful. So again, our sincere condolences to you, and may all the gifts and the beauties that she had continue to live on in yourself and your family members.
Thank you.
She must be so proud of you, by the way, from what you've achieved, and we're going to discuss quite a lot of this today. But I'd like to ask you, what was your journey to homeopathy? I mean, was there something specific that attracted you to homeopathy itself, or has this been in the family?
See, we have a lot of doctors in our family, basically, and most of them are allopaths. And my father is also an allopath. He is an MBBS DCH. So what was his problem was that there was no much of a family life which he was really repenting on, because those days doctors were very less. And so there were a lot of night visits, not like as of what today we see in nursing homes and, the hospitals, that setups that are there. So I remember patient's relative would come, carry that the kit to the house and all that thing. One patient means 3-4 hours of the night is gone. So that was the major problem he had practicing allopathy. So when I finished my 12th standard, we have a family friend called Dr. Baldota, Sudhir Baldota's father. He was a very close family friend. And Dr. Sudhir is 2 years senior to me, and he was doing homeopathy. So that's how my father came to know about Dr. Rajan Shankaran, P. Shankaran, and that the method of homeopathy that is there. More than anything else, what he felt was this is more of a safe practice also, and you can even have family life also, because there's appointments fixed and the timings are fixed and everything. So he said, see, son, this is this thing. And second point was, it is not like monotonous what a GP would do. For cold, cough, fever, the same patients, and after one after the other come, and they give you paracetamol and the red syrup, cough syrup and all that thing. So he said, here, every patient is a new venture for you. It will not be a boring thing that you have to go to the clinic and do the same job every day in, day out. So it is something that the more you enter into this practice, the more you grow. The more in allopathic practice, when you go, it becomes monotonous and becomes boring. So that difference, as well as the discipline, timing discipline, this thing. So he asked me, this is what is there, and you'll also be a doctor. So would you like to? So that was one thing that was there. Then under the guidance, because I and Dr. Sudhir Baldota from the same college, Homeopathic College. So he was there even as my room partner in the hostel. So we groomed up together. And when he finished his graduation, he was with Dr. Shankaran. So I knew that he was there. So when I finished my graduation, I got the RMO post in a government homeopathic hospital in Mumbai, which is attached to the CMP college, Homeopathic college, where Dr. Shankaran was a professor over there, honorary professor. So since I knew about him, he had 2 days a week, the OPD. So those days I used to finish my government hospital OPD and run there to attend this thing. It would be jam packed, so many students, and I couldn't see sir so many times. But still, from the window, I would peep inside and see the curiosity of what is happening over here. That's how I started my journey into the homeopathic world, to understand what exactly are we really doing when we are trying to understand the line of treatment. Slowly, I attended most of his seminars and, the thing that was there. And now that I'm associated with him, the journey is still more beautiful from past 30 years. That we are at the other song, we are together as a visiting faculty, and also, treating patients in the OPD. So there's a lot of discussion happens around. So we have grown under the umbrella of Dr. Rajan Shankaran and Dr. Jayasha and Sujit Chatterjee and everything. So this was the basic journey how I started my understanding from how I was introduced to homeopathy, and today where I am as of today.
You said something which really got me very excited, which was the fact that homeopathy is not monotonous, even though there is a process. Of course there is, because we have to take cases, and we're going to talk about that, of course, in a bit. But it's never, one case is never the same. And that's the beauty of homeopathy, because when you look at someone holistically and you look at, the profile, the psyche, the mental profile, the emotional profile, the physicals, the symptoms and everything else, it's so different from every patient. No one patient who suffers from, even let's take the most basic example of a common cold or the flu. Not one patient can be identical. It doesn't work, because every human being is different.
Correct.
And that's what makes homeopathy so exciting, isn't it? Because it's not a belladonna or whatever remedy it's going to be, or a chamomile or a ferrum phos. Every patient is different,
True.
One may be belladonna, one may be Anna's barb, who knows? But that's the beauty of homeopathy, because it's so interesting. And it also means you can never switch off, which is actually a very good thing. For the brain, it's very good. For us as homeopaths, it's very good, because it keeps us awake, keeps us alert, and keeps us learning.
True, very true. And more than that is, you evolve from day-to-day practice. You're not stuck and stagnated at one place doing some clerical type of a work. Here you are evolving, where there is art involved, where there's craftsmanship involved, where there is this idea of how to communicate with people is involved. So all that comes, and then more than that is, you get to know the people, not only the person as such, but the whole family, because everybody come into the picture when we are taking the cases. That's another beauty of the entire process.
It is truly wonderful. And I know you have you're very much like me, because that inner zeal is I say it very humbly, of course, but I can see that inner zeal in you. And it's like you live, you breathe, you walk, you talk homeopathy, you sleep homeopathy, you eat homeopathy, isn't it? It's a whole system. It's a whole way of life, isn't it?
Yes, it is in your bone marrow now.
Yeah. And it teaches you so much. It actually, honestly speaking, for those listening, homeopathy, it may sound very cliche, it's a way of life, but it teaches you so much about life. And actually, I tell you what it teaches you is, it teaches you about, one of the things rather it teaches you is to be grateful and to be humble.
True.
Because we're only here for a short time. I don't want to get philosophical here, but, in the grand scheme of things, it teaches you about gratitude, and gratitude is actually part of healing as well.
Correct. Very true. That is, the person suffering confesses to you everything. See, that is the biggest aspect of it. The most disturbing conditions of their life, they just come and confess in front of you, and you are so much, involved in that particular talk, that you not only your sympathy, empathy works, but you have to find out the way the person is going through, what the person is going through, and how is he experiencing that particular entire situation that he has told. beyond the human understanding. That's something that is penetrative, what we call it the penetrative special senses, going beyond your vision, beyond your hearing, and understanding the person, putting yourself in the person's place. That is the beauty of the entire thing.
I give you an example actually. Recently, two patients just this week. One was very emotionally down, and we had a discussion like you do. Various things cropped up. One remedy, but 3 doses. Within 12 hours, the patient is like a totally different person, like nothing ever happened. And, it's almost, it's astounding for me, because every day I'm just like astounded at the beauty and efficacy of homeopathy, of the power of healing.
True.
Another patient had pain in the jaw, TMJ, and very, very painful indeed. One remedy, one dose, and within 7 minutes, there was a 60% improvement.
Wow.
Now, wow, that's like, even I thought, wow, that's homeopathy, right? But it's individualized. It's not just one size fits all again, but
that is the beauty.
Well, if you get the right remedy, oh my, the results are life-changing, aren't they?
Miracles. Miracles happen.
Absolutely. So this leads us on your journey to the Swara Homeo Clinic. And I know that you've done a great deal between the Swara Clinic and yourself. You treat patients, of course, full-time. You've taught and continue to teach all over the world. So do tell us about the Swara Homeo Clinic and how it works, how it operates, and its objectives.
Yeah, well, the clinic was started in the year 1990. So it's now nearly 33 years now, 33, 34 years. And the idea that is there, that in the mornings we have new cases. Since the patient is also fresh and we are also fresh, assistants will come and drop their mobiles in one box with completely muted. So they're fully focusing on the case. No disturbance as to WhatsApp messages or anything of that sort, of call coming in, nothing of that sort. So that you are completely focused on this thing. So that there is, because it's not an emergency that we are not a cardiologist or a neurologist where we are really dealing with something who is going to die over there. So I said that 1.5 hour is completely for that person who has waited for us for this day. And it is his or her time. It is not our time. It is his or her time. And we should be doing complete justification to their timing. And so therefore, this idea about keeping the mobile in the tray, not taking it at all. After the case, we work out on that case. Then we sit down together, discuss the case, while at this, then come with a consensus about the remedy, what's the remedy and how the thing is. And then we put on one of the person to take the follow-up for the first 15 days. Then after a month, I come into the follow-up this thing. If they are better by 50-60%, then they continue further. That person who has taken the follow-up will continue further with that follow-up. So they also get tuned to and trained also as to how to converse with the patient, how to take the follow-ups. Once the person is, after 6 months, they're trained, then they're given a case to be taken. You take the case, present the case. What is the thing? What is the idea and everything? So again, this is how the morning slot is. Then the afternoon slot is all on Skype and whatever on Zoom, whatever cases who are out stations and out of country and all, depending upon their timings and everything. That is the afternoon slot. Evening slot is all about in-person patients who are coming in, so that who are local patients in Bombay. So for them, we have this thing. So our working hours is from morning 8:30 till evening 8 o'clock, spread out over a period of time with a gap of 1 hour lunch break and evening tea time, half an hour. The entire this thing is slotted out. Apart from that, every month end we have a meeting, the clinical meeting, as to what we are doing, where we have progressed, where we are having a problem. Am I having a problem understanding the person? Am I having a problem understanding the remedy? So it's like collectively taking everybody together so that nobody remains behind. The 4 or 5 assistants who are there, none of them should feel that, okay, I'm not able to understand, I'm not getting the feel of it. So we have the month-end meeting, half-yearly meeting we have, and the full year at the end of the December, we have the yearly meeting. what all we did, what all are there the seminars conducted, what all were the Kokan workshop, that Gurukul that we do, what happened over there. So all that processing, so we are evolving and growing, not only simply doing practice, 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 practice. Apart from that, we also do lectures for children. Time
Interesting.
management, the need of the hour, knowing myself inside me to that of what external factors are affecting me, especially for 8th, 9th, when the hormonal changes happen.
Hmm.
A lot of PCOD cases we see. So in schools, we go and give lectures so that we train them and tell them how to manage yourself. What is the conflict that is happening? Parents' expectation of you getting good marks. At the same time, your hormonal changes are happening. So there is a friction because many of the parents say, till 7, till 8, my child was very obedient. Suddenly there is a change in the nature. What is bringing in that change is the hormonal changes that are happening. So that particular teaching part, or telling them all that thing is happening over there in the schools. So that we do, and we do corporate level also. We are trying to do the understanding what is stress management. Where am I as far as my life and career is concerned? Am I going through life or am I growing in life?
Hmm.
So these are the topics that we are doing for corporate level people also. So like that, we have a blend of the clinic as well as extracurricular activities, so that cases we are seeing, we jot out on that depending on what are the number of cases. Now, if we are seeing 30, 40 cases of PCOD in a month, this is to be addressed.
Hmm.
Don't address it when they have come with PCOD. We need to go a little behind. Why are these cases increasing? Many of the corporate levels people are now diabetic, hypertensive, depressed, and all these things. So this needs to be addressed. So depending on the cases, we bring up a topic, we prepare that topic, try to find out and study those people, and then give a talk in those respective departments. This is how the entire clinic setup is as far as the practice and extracurricular activity is concerned.
I really love the fact that you've got modules, almost segments in the day. And I think that's so important. So cases in the morning, and then you've got the online consultations, and then you've got in person. I think that's so, so good, because process makes perfect.
And also it doesn't tires the assistants also. Oh, they're doing monotonous job. That I don't want. They should have a break, talk, entertain, jokes, whatever. You want to watch TV, watch TV. You want to watch on the mobile something, do it. That's your free zone. Nobody will interfere with you. Freshen up yourself. So that the after lunch break, evening tea break includes this free time also in that.
I think you're a very good boss. You're going to be in demand, I think, So Swara is not only a homeopathic clinic as such, but it's very much a training institution, isn't it?
True, true.
And so how does that work? I mean, do you get students who have just graduated, or do you get those who are still in college or homeopathic schools?
Since I'm attached to TOS also at the academy, the other song, so there are a lot of students who come for master's course.
Hmm.
They are there for 6 months. So many of them approach, sir, I want to attend your clinic. So when there is a slot open, in that 5 assistant slots, when there is open, then I call in to for the giving this thing, applications, and see which student fit in over here. Because basically what the important thing is, we want sincere people to attend and to grow in life. Many of them do tend to have this idea that just for tag's sake, I attended Dr. Shekhar's clinic. This tag's sake, some people are that meant. So it simply blocks that seat where a genuine person will not get a chance to attend. So we filter out that thing and then we take it. And that's how we get the students from seminars or from the academy from various places. So it rotates. Some people are there for 1 year, some people 1.5 years. So then one finishes, so they start their clinic. So that place becomes vacant. So we get a new one. That's how the entire thing goes on.
As far as India is concerned, the structure I know is very, very solid as far as the foundation for homeopathy. But for those around the world, of course, can you explain the process of getting to an MD Hom status?
So for that, you have to finish your BHMS. which is the graduation, basic graduation, 4.5 years of the course and 1 year of internship. So it's a 5.5 years entire course. Once you finish that graduation, then you have to give your CT exams, qualify in that, and then the admission list for various colleges where there are MDs, you get the seat. And that MD is 3 years of the course. And then you have got a training, hands-on training in that course itself. That's how you complete your MD also.
So how many years in total does that make it?
So that is 5 plus 3, 8
Wow.
years.
So literally it's the same as qualifying as a medical doctor.
Correct.
You know,
Correct. Yes.
and some as far as, excelling. And I was going to ask you, because you are very versed with homeopathy in India. So what is the uptake? Is it continuing to exponentially grow as far as students interested, or should I say people registering as students to get to this status of MD or just homeopathy, BHMS?
No, see, many of them who are inclined to teach. I would say those doing MD is okay. But today what has happened is, in remote areas, patients know MD better than BHMS because of MD medicine and
Yes.
MD. So they know MD as such, this is a qualification. So for that purpose, many of them enroll for the MD purpose, this thing. And they spend another 3.5 years to get that graduation. So that's how the entire culture over here, that what I'm noticing, the reason behind doing MD by the students. So that gives them additional qualification. One second thing is, for the practice point of view, on your signboard and your visiting card, it gives a qualification called MD, which people know.
That's very, very important as well, isn't it, though, nowadays, especially because of the connected world and the fact that many homeopaths from India, not many, but a great more than many, are going out and in different countries and establishing clinics and practices there. So I was going to ask you, is homeopathy on the increase as far as more and more people are using it in India? I know it's absolutely huge. Of course it is. But
a lot of people, and especially after COVID, it has really become more popular because, there was an air that give arsenic and COVID you will not get COVID as a prophylactic and all that thing, So homeopathy that time, it has really boosted like anything and became more popular. So now many people are aware about homeopathy. It was like an indirect advertisement. If you go to see that situation in that 2 years time, every second we would not get even the pills at that point of time. I was struggling to get even half a kg of pills for the medication in my clinic, because from pharmacies, the politician took arsenic bottles and distributed in their locality. So it was like that. So that was how popular homeopathy has become now.
It's I remember that time actually, because I also encountered, even here, it was difficult to get supplies because there was so much uncertainty as well.
True.
Now, from Swara Homeo Clinic to something very beautiful, which is the holistic Gurukul. Have I said that right? Gurukul?
Gurukul.
Yes. So do explain what this is, because I think it's quite a big deal as far as you're concerned, and it's changing many, many people's lives.
See, since I was giving seminars in many colleges and many places, the common problem that most of the student part of the story, I'm saying, they were finding it difficult to really come to cities to learn. The burning desire to learn was there, but the economical problem that they used to face because of traveling all the way from their native to come to Bombay like place, where staying and food and everything, all this logistic would be really, really very expensive for them. It would be 10 times more than what fees they're paying. So I just thought, what could I really do for these people? Some of them are farmers' children, from that particular locality, villages and all that thing. And second thing was, language was a big problem for them. They knew the stuff, but English was a big barrier for these people. And they were really feeling shy to, even to get up and ask questions. So I said, no, this is not done. I cannot be in a cosmopolitan city and just say, okay, fine, whatever is convenient for me, I'll do that much. So I thought, why can't we do something in a remote area by itself where the logistic cost will be less? So in 2010-11, I started doing a survey with Priyanka and all these people, 3-4 assistants, those were there at that time also. And then we spotted this place, which is around 20 acres of land. And it had a resort sort of, a house sort of, a bungalow sort of a thing, place, where kitchen, hall, and the around 10, 15 rooms are there for the girls. So this is the right place to stay, conduct. So that happened to be the relative of Dr. Priyanka itself. So it was good, all the more best. So we started doing small scale workshops over there, around 7 people, 8 people, like that. That started growing up gradually. Then we decided to do it 4 times in a year: March, June, September, and December, once in 3 months. So people started really coming. Currently the participants are 70 to 80 per batch. The best part of the whole story is, in mere 10 to 13,000 rupees, you are getting to stay, food, breakfast, everything involved in that package for 8 days. I said, nothing like this. This is expensive for one day in places like Bombay and all. So,
Indeed.
yes. So remote people were very much getting benefit from this thing. So I said, nothing like this is the best thing that we can do. So from then onwards till now, 4 times in a year we are doing with different topics. Like, for example, if it's case taking, then case taking for the next 7 days. What we do over there is we group the people, seniors and juniors together, one group called Kent group, another group Boning Acid group, another group Patak group, like that. So morning session from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, it's all about extracurricular activities, like one day morning walk, one day yoga, one day walk on the countryside with lantern and everything, so that you get the feel of countryside, this thing. So that every morning we have one or the other, this type of activity. 6 o'clock till 8:30 first session, 8:30 to 9:30 breakfast time, 9:30 onwards till 11 o'clock second session, 11 to 11:15 we have the kokum break, the juice and all that thing that we give, 11:15 to 1 o'clock the third session, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock lunch and rest time, 3 o'clock all of them gather. There are 3-4 heads who have already been with me. They will take up one group and revise what was done in the morning, just to brush up in regional languages. So we make people from, for example, with a Tamil group, we have one Tamil person who will explain what all has happened in the morning in Tamil language. If it's some other language, that group, they will come and explain to that particular, so that nobody is left out. After that, we have one video case show. All of them in the hall, they will listen to the video case together. Then each group will separate. They will discuss amongst themselves the whole understanding of the case and the remedy and working out. That is given around 40 minutes time. After that, there's a big lawn. The tables are kept of each group. They go to that table, whichever the group they belong to. Then we have this debate. The debate is, okay, this group first tell your understanding, each group tell their understanding. Then we make them to argue and have the discussions among themselves. 1 minute. They are saying it's an animal remedy. The Kent says it's a plant remedy. Why do you all feel it is like that? So that discussion churns into a good, healthy argument and everything. So each one is learning. Then we filter it out. Why not this? Why this? Did you hear the patient what they said? Then we play the thing on the screen again. See, listen, this is how you heard it, but the patient said it in this manner. Then they also self-realization, what we call it as, yeah, this is also correct, but there's a proof over there. So that's how the learning happens. After that, then we have free zone, where the play is there and all that thing, games are there. Then we go for dinner with meditation, lamps being put in front of everybody. We meditate for 5 to 10 minutes, thanking all those people who have helped us in making this day possible. We pray to God for keeping them healthy and everything. And then after the dinner, we disperse. This is how the whole project is in the entire year, spread out over the entire year 4 times. And every time the whole year's chart is being put up. This year, this are the dates, because many of them have to do the booking. Because train booking, and you don't get it so easily. So well in advance, we give them so that they can do their booking and reserve their this thing, so that they don't have hassles while coming to this thing. Only time that we missed was the COVID time, when we couldn't do. But that time we did webinars. We converted those workshops as webinars and did some of the other topic. Apart from that, all those people who have attended, we have got something called as SODP, Swara Online Portal Discussion. That is what, that we have online case presentations of the participants who have come, benefited, and they have taken and they have found results and everything, or difficult cases to be discussed. So that is free of cost, where everybody come once in 15 days. So twice in a month, we have this SODP. So it's an online learning. The journey continues. Benefit of all this is it's not like one seminar you do somewhere and you forget everything. It looks, wow, what a beautiful case of earthworm, what a beautiful case of butterfly, and then it is all over. Who has taught, what is being taught is all washed out. This is a continuous learning process. The idea of setting up this thing is to groom the person till the end, till he or she sets up the practice. Even then, for the first 3 years, we monitor how is the practice going on. What are the difficulties they are facing? Tell them to send us a mail of the cases if you are finding any difficulties. We will be there to guide you. So it is a hand-holding process from A point to Z point, that now you are on your own, and I know for sure you will do well. That is the ultimate aim.
You know, it makes me want to go as well. It makes me want to come over. It's it really is.
Anytime you are invited.
It's very, very good indeed. So the students have to attend all 4 during the year, or
Not
can
necessarily.
they?
Not necessarily. They can come any one of the sessions also. Because many a time what happens today, for example, a married female who has family responsibilities cannot come during the March month because exams are there. They may miss March month. Then the May month they come. So that time during the break time, they will ask what happened in the March. So we just explain them what all happened. So there are some problems which are genuine. For example, if it's a male patient and he is a father having children and all things, so he has some responsibilities. So those times they cannot come, but the continuation is there. They miss one session, the next session they come. So it's like in a continuation where we take up the back thing and again carry forward.
How wonderful indeed. Very, very inspiring, I have to say. Moving on from that, my God, your life is busy, I have to say. But it's all in the service of humanity. So
True.
everything is brilliant, isn't it? As such?
And you enjoy doing that. That's the reason why you don't feel tired or exhausted or at all anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And every grocery, we have to take it from here because there you don't get anything.
Oh, interesting.
We have nearly around 15 boxes, 15 cartons that we are taking, from a pen to first aid to everything we have to take, because there we do not get anything. Anything we have to get means you have to travel 12 kilometers in that jungle.
I see.
Transportation is not there. You have to call the auto person from the city to here, and from here we go there. So it's a tedious job. So everything we keep it handy.
How far is it from where you are? You're in Mumbai, aren't you, at the moment?
6 hours.
6 hours.
The bus, only traffic problem in Bombay, that takes 3 to 4 hours. Otherwise, once you reach the outskirts of Mumbai, it takes 6 hours.
Wonderful. Now, Dr. Shekhar, with everything that you're doing, you found time for a book, and you were very gracious to send me a copy. Thank you so very much. And as you very well know, I have read it cover to cover, because I've even done a review on it on my social reels. And the book is called Case Taking, the Art of Connection, Communication and Conversation. So without, it's a big book, and those who are interested, please have a look online, and we will share, I think, Dr. Shekhar, if you actually just share where the book is available or when it will be available.
Yeah. See, right now the book is available. You can contact at 8433881566 at Swara Healthline. The book is available once you contact over there. And the idea for this particular book was basically, many of them would ask, how can you reach to sensation level? How does the person talk so much? What is the skill behind it? And to frankly tell you, initial 10 years, I had no answer for it. I would simply smile and simply, somehow get away from that question. But then I sincerely used to come back from seminars, come back from lectures and think over, literally ponder over it to find out what could be the thing. So it was like an apple falling for Newton, to come to the understanding of gravitational this thing.
Hmm.
So when I was teaching my daughter in English, underline the action word and circle the odd man out. There used to be 3 words, out of which 1 word would be an action word. You have to underline that. And there would be 3 words, 2 are connected to each other, 1 would be something odd. So you have to underline or circle that odd man. This is exactly what struck me. This is what we are doing in homeopathy. The vital force is something that gives action. So what are we trying to do in a conversation? In a conversation, we have to find out what is the action that is happening in that person's language. That became the key factor. That's how I started to put on everything one after the other, assemble them. And the Gazette era today, if you do not have connection, how can we do it in Zoom? If we do not have connection, how can I talk to a person in mobile? So what is the idea? The idea is I need to connect to the other person in order to have a conversation. And if that conversation is in a both way session, this thing, then only the communication and conversation can happen. So therefore, the art of connect, communicate, and converse. This philosophy, this understanding struck me. What used to happen with patients' case, students' cases? There was no connection at all. The person had some other interest, and the physician was asking something else. So physician was trying to get idea about what his knowledge is saying, not what the person wants to tell. And therefore, many of them would say that in homeopathy, it is difficult to take a case. Patients do not talk. Now they have come to our doorstep only to talk. They have not come to test us. They have come to get themselves cured. So how will they not talk? The question is the question appropriate for an answer to come? That is the key factor. If the question is not appropriate, how do you expect the other person to give you the answer? So rectify the question. This became an important feature for the book to actually emerge. And then the idea of the P formula that started, the purpose of asking every question should be understood by the homeopath. If my question that I'm asking doesn't have a purpose, then there is no way that the person can answer. Many of the students, I asked them, why did you ask this question? No, I felt like. So it is not like you felt like, that's why you will ask. So the patient will say, I felt like not answering. It's also true. So the purpose is the very important thing. And once your purpose is clear, when you begin the question to ask, the first thing that the person is going to give you are many possibilities. This is my problem. This is the problem. This is the problem. For example, the chief complaint is the problem. Or my wife is not pally with me is the problem. Or my boss is very angry and he is trying to, overpower me is a problem. So these are the possibilities. Now you do not know which one is important for that person. So the next question you ask, what bothers you more out of all this? Now this has a purpose because there are 3 things that are there now. You do not know which one is important. To find out what is important, your question should be what bothers you the most. That will give you probability. Maybe this or that out of the 3. Or maybe one single. My problem is this. That becomes a prospect, a single path to go where the person is now taking you into the another realm. Because neither he has traveled nor you have traveled beyond that. I only know this is my problem. But I do not know what is happening to me with that problem. Then you further go. So how does it bother you in this issue? This is the subject of the person's conversation. This is the subject of the conversation between you and I. Once that subject becomes clear, then all other factors are very clear. At the time prospect, the subjects become clear. That is the time when now you are going to see a shift in the conversation. Because you and he or she is going to travel on that path for the first time. So the pitch, volume, pace, rhythm now slowly starts changing. Because now the person is going to go into another level called the subconscious level. Because assumptions will come. Probabilities will come. I think so, it would be like this. I think so, I'm like that, I'm like this. So these are the assumptions, the delusion that we call it as. From there, when you cannot understand what is his or her delusion, when you probe further with that pause, take a pause, because that is the first time that the person is traveling. So he will not be so easily going. There will be a little bit hurdles. Take a pause. Don't be hurried, but be persistent in asking where you are. That requires a gentle push. It is not going to come out so easily. So your persistence, just because the person is taking pause, you are taking pause, don't change the question. So be persistent. Once that persistence plays a role, the whole box of the last P called peculiarity comes up. Something that is strange, unique, characteristic, key factor for that individual, which is neither understood by you nor understood by that person. The universal realm opens up. So this P formula really helps us in understanding what is the problem. That's what Hanuman says, tracing the true picture of the disease.
That's a fascinating insight into this book. And like I said, it's a beautiful read and it's so well thought out as well. So I'm sure it's going to make such a big difference to students and the newer generation homeopaths, because it's so important, isn't it, to take the case. And, you said something very beautiful, which was, I thought to ask certain things, or I assume, but that's not how it works in homeopathy.
Right.
Try to be unbiased. Takes a lot of, you can't just sit in a chair as a homeopath and be unbiased from the first day. That itself is a process. It's training, isn't it? To become so impartial that eventually you do connect with the patient. And that's when the real picture emerges of what is cause and effect, literally.
Correct. And if you just remove homeopathy out of that book, 1,000+ corporate people have taken that book. Because it has to do with their field also. How to go about with the clients, how to go about with the CEOs of the other companies, how to collaborate. So again, the purpose, prospect, everything, this is what they said, fascinating. They read that much part, leaving aside the cases. So it
Fascinating.
Because basically communication is with every field. It's not only with homeopathy. But people would ask something, think something, assume something, and that's where the problem would be created. So if we stop assuming, if we stop thinking and explore it through this P understanding, you will really come to a consensus that what you are talking and what I am trying to understand is on one platform.
It's wonderful.
Because you're unbiased.
Dr. Shekhar, you are a gem in the world of homeopathy, and I hope we can meet physically sometime very soon. That would be wonderful if you're coming to the UK.
Definitely.
Do let me know. I know you've been to Paris, and that's where we did the Insta Live from, but you need to come to London.
Surely.
It's been a real honor to have you on the Homeopathy Health Podcast, and I thank you very, very much for your time and to share your wonderful journey and the insights and experiences that you have, and of course the incredible work that you're doing. And of course, wish you the greatest ongoing success, and very much looking forward to you coming back on the show and us talking much, much more.
Surely, Atik, I would definitely. It was a pleasure talking to you. And it was really like, just sharing the heart out as to what you really want to. And again, establishing that conversation, which was so healthy and so good.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much.
Thanks a million.
I do hope you've enjoyed this week's episode of the Homeopathy Health Show. Please do support the show by clicking follow on my socials. Remember, the more exposure the podcast receives, the better for homeopathy around the world. You can find me on Instagram by searching for @like_treatslike, and on both Facebook and TikTok by searching for @like_treatslike. So let's promote the voice of homeopathy on radio and podcast around the world together. Don't forget to visit me online at www.liketreatslike.co.uk and click on the radio and podcast tab. Here you'll be able to see all the guests that have joined me on the show so far. And of course, you can stream on demand the latest episode to your mobile, tablet or PC. Until next time, stay safe and take care.